Hello and welcome to Spring Commander Forged Alliance. This is ranked game on the Vale of Isis. A very difficult map in my opinion. It's very small to choke points. It's even smaller than Isis, and it gets really crazy right away. And it's hard to call who's got the better faction for this one. EF or aeon both have opportunities. But one thing gotta mention: FA Count is streaming all his ranked games, including he streamed this one. So if you want to see his first view as he plays, you can check that out. Or it's actually really good to learn from from a player like him. And it's funny, he does not use like build mode or Zulan's build mode, so he does everything with a mouse, so it's much easier to follow. Comes out with the first Mech Marine from UEF, and we got Uber, of course, here playing as Aeon, going second arrow with 5 P-gens. And it appears that he's doing something really cool here. He got absolutely no mass extractors with his ACU. The ACU only did 2 factories, and this is what you can do when you got rocks close to you. So these rocks that are up here really change what you can do early on, and of course these rocks here as well, they're gonna keep him from stalling. Here comes the Mech Marine, but Auroras, of course, with the range and Scout and Aurora together, really good defensively. It's really hard to sneak past him. And it appears that FA Count is actually so he had paused the game, and there was a pause when he waited for Uber that we didn't notice. He renamed a couple of his units. Got Zoc, Matt Stork, and Funkoff. Looking at where the ACU is going, very aggressive ACU to the Hydra, plus an engineer, a bit of an exposed engineer here. He did send a Mech Marine up, but that could have been dangerous. On the bottom, he's got an engineer protected by a tank, but an Aurora coming in, so this will be a very important fight. The engineer is targeted by the Aurora. And the Aurora will retreat against the tank, and this is, right here, the Tech 1 stage. If the Striker can catch up, it can barely kill the Aurora. Aurora doesn't move very quickly backwards, but if you charge it, you can get to it. Looks like both players are going to get some radars close to the central mountain. Just looking at the terrain. Blocks quite a few cruise missiles if you shoot over it. At certain angles you can shoot a fatty over it. But pretty safe areas here right underneath the mountain. Also blocks a lot of bombs depending on the approach. Here comes second land from FA Count. And we already have this air factory with the... Oh, we're going to see a ghetto in this one. This is very interesting. We haven't seen ghettos on FAF a lot at all, so this will be surprising for FA Count, perhaps. Perhaps not. Oh wow, this is crazy strats from both players. We got Tech 2 land right away. Immediately going to Tech 2 land by FA Count. So he's going to give up map control everywhere. And he's already getting into trouble because this is Aurora. 2 kills, just wandering the map. Has the potential to kill a lot of very important units. We got Eisen here running away. On the bottom, the tank's doing a pretty good job. Funkoff with 3 kills. Matt Stork doing a good job surviving, getting the point defense up. Actually, I appreciate FA Count for naming his units. Much easier to refer to them. Surprisingly, Zaki is not the Tech 2 factory. He's just going to provide build capacity. And we got Mongoose coming out. And Mongoose, of course, the Auroras. We can totally see what FA Count is thinking. He does not want to take in the Auroras and Tech 1 and just go straight Tech 2, but we do have this ghetto, and that's just going to dominate for Uber. Matt Stork gets taken out. Is this Funkoff? Funkoff's still alive with 3 kills, but he's going to get killed by a ghetto, unfortunate. So Zaki's the only survivor. I think Eisen's still surviving as well. Maybe not. And the Mongoose here, it's Tech 2 versus the Aurora. Very good counter. It's waiting to shoot. It's a really long reload. Multiple Mongoose moving up now. But now Uber, besides doing the ghetto, very aggressive ACU directly to FA Count, and it looks like he's not noticing there's trouble coming his way. He does have Tech 2, he's got Tech 2 flak now. That's a very nice counter to the ghetto, some power. So he's completely clueless that he does not know the ACU. Now he's going to know. Now he knows there's an ACU, he's going to try to get a point defense up. And if he can't do that, he's going to be in huge trouble. FA Count getting hit by the ghetto. We should see the flak moving up. So as soon as FA Count gets that flak up, the point defense is finished. And this most likely will force Uber back with 7 kills for Uber. So many dead engineers. This is really bad trouble now for FA count. You don't want an ACU in your base killing you. And if you can capture this, and he's attempting to capture, I expect FA count to control K, this point defense. If he doesn't, this game is over. He's got a yes, he self-destructed it. Uber quite a bit of trouble now, actually taking on Tech 2, but he's got some supporting units elsewhere. We do see FA count, 3 kills, facing multiple point defenses, and a very big difference. We see a total of 5 land factories, still no Tech 2, versus basically a Tech 2 factory. Now see some pillars. Uber, 16 kills, just wiping out everything inside of FA count's base. If Uber can take out that Hydro, which is already hurt, FA count would be out of power, besides a couple pigeons, which are very vulnerable anyway. And now we got this pillar, the Tech 2. It's a very strange game here. Usually don't see Tech 2 at 7 minutes taking on Auroras, an ACU and Ghetto. So great stuff, and a very good idea in terms of a point defense here. If Uber can get this point defense, FA count's main base is in huge trouble. FA count also looks like it attacked, but it's not that impressive. The Ghetto just got hit. All those flares just got hit. 6 kills for this flak, but the transport somehow survives. Uber still abusing Zoc. Zoc survives at 555 health, and if this point defense gets finished, Zoc just might die. I see Tech 2 versus point defense. The point defense is not shooting. It must be there's no clear line of sight, but now it starts shooting. FA count not chasing Uber. Uber could be in trouble here. He's got pretty low on health, 25 kills. FA count for the most part full health. And nice Aurora spam. So once again, Pillar now with 6 kills, 9 kills, 10 kills, taking out Auroras and the Mongoose. So numbers versus Tech. More Tech 2 units moving up. So with 5 Tech 2 units, it'll take a really big Aurora army, especially with the Mongoose that can outrange. So looking at this game, first 9 minutes, pretty exciting. FA count barely surviving, but now you could say he's at an advantage. He has a whole bunch of wrecks. He's got Tech 2. He's got a force moving out. He's going to take over the map. And Uber, of course, kind of low on health. Also has Tech 2 on land. The Mongoose continue to push.
Alright, so what has happened? The Mongoose have lost a couple units, 14 kills on the pillars, 15 on the Mongoose. Oh, that was some splash damage, 2 kills, 2 very important kills by this Tech 2 point defense. So Tech 2 point defenses counter Tech 2 pretty well, except of course against the mobile missile launchers. And we're just seeing Tech 2 engineers and more flak coming out for FA count. FA count has engineers all over the map taking back the map. Map control definitely has shifted in FA count's favor. ACU no upgrades, 10 kills. And the Hydra, this is a bad loss now for Uber. Uber getting an upgrade, looks like another gun upgrade. And of course the Aeon ACU with double gun and Tech 2 land, extremely powerful, a couple of shields. If Uber can make a little bit of power, he's very low on power right now. He's just lost his Hydro, he's getting an ACU upgrade. This is a terrible place to be right now. He's just got a couple pigeons. He's completely paused everything. He cannot produce anything but his upgrade. Meanwhile, this Tech 2 from FA count doing whatever it wants. Actually, I missed this. A Tech 1 force taking out the Hydra here. So Uber, even though he's completely stalled his eco, still doing a good job. Looks like Uber, he may have just cancelled that upgrade. Wouldn't be surprised if he did. Surviving engineer, trying to be inconspicuous there. And Tech 2 NG is now coming out to the front line together with ACU and Flak. So it looks like FA count might just do a base here, maybe some Tech 2 point defense on the bottom. It's going to be the ACU versus some Tech 2. And actually this ACU can make pretty good progress. But no, we do see some Tech 2 point defense for FA count. So multiple Tech 2 engineers going to 2 choke points for FA count. We see some recycling of factories. We also see a cruise missile being started by Uber and Obsidians plus Flak. And now Shield. Hydra is going to be finished. We should expect T2 power soon for Uber, because with the aeon you really want a lot of power. Because of these 125 power, that takes 6 power generators, Tech 1 power generators. But you can power 4 of those with a single Tech 2. And Uber just walks past this Tech 2 point defense. This is really bad for FA count now, because he's got nothing but engineers and 1 pillar. And that's a nice juicy chunk of mass there for Uber. Picks that up. Still a surviving Mongoose here, taking out the artillery, trying to take out the point defense. Playing defense, protecting the 2 Tech 1 mass extractors. FA count now walking back with ACU. He's got to be worried about his base, taking on this ACU. And does Uber have radar in this area? It doesn't look like he does. He should be shooting. He does have scouts now, so that'll be fine. And a Tech 2 point defense. It'd be really nice for Uber to attack that engineer right now before any point defense go up. He does have an Obsidian moving in that direction, although Obsidian's quite slow. Actually, Obsidians are not that slow. They just take a long time to accelerate. And this will be another good victory for Uber. So Uber getting some very important timed victories with here on the bottom of the ACU. You can see his shield not on, can't afford it. Tech 2 point defense going up at the main base for FA count. So FA count planned on doing Tech 2 point defenses on the creep, but ended up doing Tech 2 point defenses exactly at his base. Uber loses the shield. Great Obsidian is going to now another juicy chunk of mass for Uber. FA count puts an end to it, and that's very important. If that did not go down, FA count could have completed the construction, but he's gonna have to get some Tech 2 engineers up. So for the most part, Obsidians for Uber everywhere, and we might see Tech 3 land perhaps from somebody soon. Although the ecos for these players not that impressive, only a single Tech 2 mass extractor for Uber, and you can see a lot of trouble. Actually, 2 Tech 2 mass extractors, but a lot of other trouble for FA count. Going for Tech 2 power. Pretty good power. We gotta say there is definitely advantage in terms of power for FA count, and we gotta say absolutely no air. Well, finally we got some scouts for FA count, and I only saw a few interceptors for Uber. So besides that early ghetto, both players couldn't really afford air because of energy. And very even now, split down the middle. Uber finally takes care of the point defense, going to pick up 2 mass extractors. FA count standing around wondering. And now we see Tech 2 point defense and quite a few Obsidians. So Obsidians versus Mongoose. In close range, the Obsidians will dominate. Of course, a very important point defense, except perhaps a Tech 2 point defense for Uber. Can't take that out, and there could be a push through the top for for Uber. The ACU for FA count going into the corner. That's very strange. Very powerful weapon. We also see a cruise missiles perhaps. Did Uber ever finish? Yes, he did. Still no kills. Wonder how that Hydra was destroyed. FA count should rebuild that as soon as possible, although he does have Tech 2 power now. And mobile missile launchers for FA count. He is facing the Tech 2 point defense. And of course Aeon mobile TMDs are really good against volleys of cruise missiles, but you can beat them by firing a whole bunch back to back to back, and that's exactly what the mobile missile launchers will do. Third Tech 2 mass extractor for FA count now. No upgrades, and now we are going to see these mobile missile launchers go to work, and you can see the first missile is going to be taken out, and perhaps wrong target. Should be able to hit these. But so far, yeah, now after a while this gets overwhelmed. Got a bit of a battle here with artillery using the terrain, shooting over the terrain. Add the missile launchers, taking out the radar. Good stuff here from Uber. On the bottom, Uber once again harassing them with 40 kills. And some overcharges these engineers. This is great. Great stuff for Uber. Zoc still alive, covering up the Tech 2 factory. And actually Uber kind of crazy here. He is dancing, dodging the Tech 2 point defense. It's 3 Tech 2 point defense that he's facing. And elsewhere, this artillery now with 2 kills, harassing all these mobile missile launchers. FA Count's got to move up a little bit. And now air, perhaps, now it looks like air does belong to FA Count. Obsidians move up. And I'm hearing cruise missiles. First missile. Not clear where that's going. Perhaps, oh, a couple Tech 2 mask extractors. This will be a big victory for Uber. So Uber getting some very important victories at different points in this game. Perhaps going Tech 3 or thinking about it. No, just Obsidian still. Another Tech 2 point defense for FA Count. And has ceased production. Lost 2 Tech 2 mask extractors, and this ACU should get a little bit of wrecks, but it could get in a little bit of trouble if you can't overcharge, but he should be able to. So both players here trying to harass each other, but for the most part teching up. You see quite a few Tech 2 mask extractors, Tech 2 power. Quite even in terms of the tech, but perhaps a little more map control for Uber because he was able to snipe some TMD, and FA Count's going to rebuild directly on the wreck. Mobile shield's not coming out. Perhaps we'll see a fight. FA Count, no gun on the ACU. That's unfortunate, especially that he's already got Tech 2 power. Could be very nice. And shields now for FA Count. He's going to try to protect all his power. This is a lot of obsidians. If the ACU gets caught without an overcharge, I guess this volume of obsidian, it is in danger. Although nice support here for FA Count. He's got cruise missiles or mobile missile launchers. Not too much success, and of course a bunch of mongoose as well. Tech 2 point defense creep now for Uber. He's got another shield and the ACU as well. So Uber might be thinking that he can catch FA Count napping here. Actually Tech 2 on the ACU. I did not notice that. Well, that makes it very very different. Tech 2 ACU much more powerful now. Tech 2 point defense. We're going to see a nice Tech 2 point defense standoff up on top. Of the bottom has been completely abandoned except for a couple engineers looking for free mass for Uber. And we should see a mongoose. Now mongoose is going to raid. No protection whatsoever for Uber on the bottom. So a single T2 is going to wipe everything out. A very big push now for Uber. He's going to look into a couple Tech 2 point defenses, but so many shields and obsidians, so much health here for Uber. FA Count's got to be very worried. He's got to retreat. He's only got single Tech 2 point defense. And now he's just going to be outranged, getting hit by the ACU. Looks like Uber decided not to mess with it. Nice Tech 2 force here from FA Count, and he doesn't have too much health. But perhaps he'll use this, yes, no, it's a mobile missile, it's a TMD. He's going to protect against all those mobile missile launchers, and we can see this mongoose already with 7 kills. He's going to massacre all these undefended units. Very strange there from Uber. You got a tactical missile defense and a Tech 2 point defense. Uber using his long range on the gun, overcharging the Tech 2 point defenses. Obsidians rolling in are going to get massacred. Good use of range by FA Count. Although FA Count going quite low on health now. Getting hit by these Tech 2 point defense. So you can say this was a success for Uber. Was able to take over the choke point. But he's got to be careful. FA Count's still able to do a lot of damage. Now 56 kills, about to get 60. Total retreat for FA Count. So on the bottom we can see FA Count gaining map control, but a very nice victory for Uber, and he's going to get a lot of wrecks for his troubles, plus 2 mask extractors. Looks like FA Count is not going to retreat too far. He's going to try to establish another base, so we'll see how quickly Uber continues to push. Yeah, big trouble on the bottom with those mongoose. Some obsidians moving down. And we can see now the map control has been shifted to a diagonal. here at minute 25. Uber 58 kills. Still Tech 2 land, a single Tech 1 Tech 2 power, a whole bunch of Tech 2 point defenses. The cruise missiles continue to fire for actually a second Tech 2 power. Cruise missiles, it looks like they're targeting the Tech 2 point defense. That's always nice to see. And that is going to allow Uber to get a little more map control. We're looking at power, only the one Tech 2 power 4 FA count. But he is making pretty good progress. Obsidians versus pillars. Obsidians would have to say a little better in close quarters here. The micro is missing for FA count. It would really be nice to pull back. See the massacre by these. But numbers should eventually win for FA count. FA count continues to retreat. Charging with the mobile missile launchers looks like they had some success. Misses the ACU. I'll try to take out the point defense. And Uber now with 60 kills. This massacres 5 Tech 2 units. That's a huge loss. So much Rex here. Uber with this Aeon Tech 2 and the ACU just making a lot of progress. More flak now coming out for FA count. Big air force for Uber. And of course with Aeon with Tech 2 air, the game can be ended very quickly. And a very nice push now on the bottom from FA count. He's already got engineers picking up free mass. Took out a Tech 2 mask extractor. Still quite a few wrecks on the field not picked up by Uber. He shouldn't have too many mass problems. He's got at least 4 Tech 2 mask extractors. And it looks like mass capping mask extractors for FA count. So very nice base here for FA count. And a Tech 2 point defense creep now on the bottom. We also see cruise missiles. So Uber using his cruise missiles extremely well. Any kind of expansion for FA count is going to have to be accompanied by TMD. Uber now getting an upgrade. Shields and obsidians have been somewhat effective, but only when it's together with the ACU. Otherwise, the range advantage on the Tech 2 EEF is being successful. Now he got some TMD for FA count, and perhaps Tech 2 point defense creep. If FA count can hold on to this position, he can prevent Uber from taking the Hydra and the 2 mask extractors. And perhaps FA count can steal some of this mass. And that's very important. It's a big chunk of the map. FA count now, not sure exactly what upgrade he got there. Looks like he's still Tech 2. He's got big power problems. Got a couple Tech 2 point defenses, TMD. No Hydro. And it looks like it's just teching. So perhaps FA count is happy with his position. I'll speed this up. And he's just gonna try to take away as much map as possible from Uber, and then just tech up, and then perhaps go Tech 3, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going Tech 3, get another Tech 2 power, and this one might be available for a snipe. This TMD might be a little too far. Uber getting that upgrade, still got the gun. Perhaps this will be the shield on the ACU. I don't know if that's the best choice for Uber. It'll be really difficult, especially in the later stages. If FA can't get a whole bunch of Tech 2 point defense, it'll be very difficult to break through it. Looks like multiple missile launchers now. Perhaps Uber's thinking about ACU snipe. It's not a bad idea, very short ranges. And it is the Aeon ACU with the shield, which gives it another 29,000 health. And the double gun, that's a very good weapon. But he's going to be taking on a whole bunch of different units here. Let's see how much damage it can do. And Tech 3 land now. So instead of that shield, if Uber got a bunch of Harveys, perhaps it would have been better. Because now there is a Tech 3 artillery and the possibility of Perseus, of course, also. But let's see if Uber can make this count. He's already taken out some mask extractors. More Tech 2 point defense for FA count. Uber now pulling quite a few units over to his ACU. and cruise missile snipe. Perhaps he's going after this power. This should be vulnerable. Expect that to be destroyed, and that's going to be very important. It'll probably shut down quite a few of these shields. Now artillery here hitting Uber's going after the tech to power. So both players targeting each other's power. Uber now lost quite a bit of health against this tech to point defense. And now the Obsidians move in, they're going to take out the shield. And you can say this is a very nice attack. Looks like the tech to point defense still targeting the ECU, while the Obsidians are trying to massacre the tech to point defense. A retreat from FA counts as a successful attack. This attack cannot continue given that Uber has lost his shield. And actually here tech 1 point defense, 7 kills, Obsidians are getting destroyed. Reinforcements now 4 FA count. And on the bottom tech to point defense. And 7 kills, 5 kills for the T3 artillery. Already took out the tech 2 power and a whole bunch of engineers. So tech 3 land 4 FA count seems to be the better choice. Uber's still playing very well with 82 kills. More tech to point defense for FA count. And no engineers around the tech 2 factory. You can see a tech 2 power being rebuilt by Uber. And perhaps this will be the end of the game here. Uber gets caught without a shield against a whole bunch of tech 2. And here at minute 33, FA count is going to take this victory. Unless Uber runs away and gets the 100th kill, but he won't do that. So very good game. Uber really had the advantage early on, some really interesting strats. And once again, people should check out FA Account's streaming. He does it all the time and it's really useful.